What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna keep working on our Sportster chopper here. We are going to mount a gas tank and run through some tips and tricks on getting this thing mounted up on your bike. So we're gonna put this 1027 narrow Sportster gas tank on our project chopper here. This one's a Frisco mount, so it's gonna sit real high on the backbone. Mount it up something like yay. It's gonna have a petcock back down here, so you can use all the capacity of that gas tank. And this is gonna come with universal demounting tabs. So it's not gonna work with your stock mounting up front, and this is gonna be the same tactic you can use to mount a gas tank on any hardtail frame that's just got a round backbone. So what we're gonna do, drill our holes in the gas tank. We're gonna drill our holes and weld in some bungs into the backbone on the frame. Now, I know a lot of you guys are just gonna punch holes through there, run some bolts through. It's not the best way to do it because you are losing some integrity on your frame when you do that way. Anytime you have a hole through there, it's a weak point. So we are gonna use 5/16 18 Allen heads here. These are just some black ones. We'll probably switch them out with some chrome later. We have our 5/16 by 18 steel bungs. These are made in the USA. And when it comes to mounting the tank, we're gonna use some of our leather washers. Those will help protect your paint and give a little bit of dampening onto the gas tank. So a couple things of note when you're mounting a gas tank. You want to get it on there, you want it level, all of those good things. And the first step is getting some holes into your D-tabs. One thing where people get a little bit caught up sometimes is that these aren't exactly welded on there perfectly straight. So sometimes on a tank, you know, it could be clocked a little bit one way or another. So if you try to mark your hole perfectly centered on your D-tab, you might find that in relation to the gas tank, it actually is putting you off center. So you can do this a couple different ways. One way to do it is, this is just a laser. Actually, this is just a self-leveling laser from Harbor Freight. If you're building bikes, this is a great thing to have. You know, 50 bucks. This one will shoot cross, up and down, self-leveling. Again, great tool to have in the toolbox for building choppers. So we can do that. We can put that on the end there and turn this on. And then you can kind of shoot your line right down the center of your tank. Now, if you want to get real crazy with it, you could measure off, make sure you're hitting on the right dead center with your laser, and then that'll give you your line that you can transfer down for mounting or for drilling your hole on your tab. Do the same thing, front and back. And again, you might find that the hole is not actually sitting perfectly at the top of, or centered on your tab, but it's gonna be centered relative to the tank body. So you can do it that way. Another way is just give it the old stink eye. And get down here, make sure you're on a pretty level surface. And I can tell you this tab is just a hair off the side, but I can come down, follow, and that's gonna be good enough for government work right there. And kind of the same thing off the front here. There you go. Now we're gonna be using 5/16 bolts, so that's the size of the hole that we wanna put in there. On the front, on a lot of these tanks, it's hard to get down in there with the drill, so usually you gotta come with a small pilot and then come back through the bottom. You certainly can mark right away off the bottom. Another tactic, again, if you're using your laser, as you can see, you could get your tank all squared up and shoot your line up the middle. And you can kind of see there how this one is just a hair off to the center, but you're gonna wanna hit your line. So we'll do it this way. We got ours mounted up there. We'll drill from the top on this side, that's easy, and then we'll drill a pilot hole on that side. So just gonna take a center punch and punch on our marks. Put a piece of wood in there so we don't have a mistake through the top of our toolbox. So we got our pilot holes drilled. Now we'll bring out the big guns. Get a little cutting fluid, save my drill bit. I'll use a countersink here to just clean this up. There we are. So we have our holes drilled. Now we're gonna take this over to the bike. We'll get this situated, use a clamp to hold it on, mark our holes, and then drill the top tube. All right, we got our tank drilled out, so now we're gonna transfer over here to the frame. We're gonna put that on there and set that down one more time. We're just gonna use a standard hose clamp, put it on, hold it there, then that'll allow us to find exactly the position we want. So if you're doing it solo, hose clamps are awesome instead of having your buddy hold it. Before I do that, I'm gonna put a towel here over our motor just so we don't have shavings everywhere once we start drilling. Put our hose clamp in, take our tank, put that on. Hold that there, tighten our clamp down, and then step back and give it the eyeball. So first thing you want to figure out, front to back. Obviously you need to be aware of the bar setup you're going to use. If you're going to do something crazy that pulls back, you want to know where that is in relation to your tank, your turning and rotation of the front end. Make sure that that doesn't bang into your tank. We're kind of setting it back a little bit. I know we got plenty of room here for that, so not real worried. I'm gonna pull the seat off so we can look down the back. All right, so one thing I'm gonna do is check how level the bike is. I'm gonna use the front lower triple tree. Unless your bike's pretty messed up, you can pretty much bank on your triple tree of your front end being perpendicular with the frame and the bike. So I'm just using a standard little digital level. See where we're at there. Now, again, with gas tanks, it's really hard to get a true level on it because, you know, there are these compounding shapes. Maybe on the bottom you can, but again, can you really trust that that's perfectly perpendicular? So really, getting these mounted properly does kind of just take using your eye and making sure everything looks true. So start out by leveling the bike and the frame, make sure that that's good, and then you just kind of want to look at it from every which way to make sure you got it running straight. So we'll start looking down the back. And I'm actually going to backtrack and pull this out so I can see it kind of in relation to the motor. I did want to move this up a little. Keep your hand on it when you start loosening. Slide that up. I had kind of earmarked that the petcock would fit this little notch in the rocker box. So right about there. Tighten that down. Okay. We're going to look at the back. We're leaning a little bit to the right. And I'd say we still need to go a touch more to the right, to the left rather. Look at that from the front. You can get a pretty good view of the flat side of the tank here when you're looking at it. I think we're looking pretty good. So we use a hole punch set to make sure we punch right in the center of our holes on the D-tabs. And give her whack. Perfect. As you can see, I'm floating a little bit. Now, this is another good thing to bring up. When you're mounting a gas tank, again, sometimes how we talked about these tabs are not perfectly square when they make these tanks, you know. So you want to use a washer like this underneath there. If you put this on here and then you reef down on the back and then on the front and you tighten that down, you're putting stress into the bottom of this tank, right? Because you're forcing it into a position that it doesn't want to naturally go. And over time that can lead to, you know, cracking some of these welds on the tank, especially with the vibrations of a hardtail chopper. So we definitely suggest using some leather washers, a rubber washer, a nylon washer, something underneath the actual tabs from that connection or the tab to the frame, and that will release some of that stress. So when you crank it down, you're getting a solid contact, but you're not actually forcing these tabs steel on steel into a position that they're not actually not designed, but they're not actually currently in. So always use something between your tank and your frame, and that'll alleviate a lot of problems down the road and the potential to crack a gas tank. Just a transfer tab. There we go. All right, and keep a hand on the tank, otherwise that'll ruin your Sunday. So we're gonna use these bungs. We sell these in 4-packs, but you're only gonna need 2 of them. You can give the other to your neighbor. What we're gonna do, drill the holes. These are 3/4 diameter, so we'll just use a step bit to get up to 3/4. We aren't gonna drill all the way through the frame, just through the top portion of the tube. And you don't need to use an overly deep bung. We do sell these in 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch. This is 1 5/8 tube. You might think maybe if I put a deeper one in there, that's gonna be better contact or whatnot. The problem is not really the problem, but if you wanna run any wires internally, that's gonna impede the ability to push those wires through there. So this is a 1/2 inch one that's more than enough to hold a gas tank onto your frame. All right, and now I'm gonna put my towel back on here, keep the shavings out of the motor. And one more. And now we'll move over to a step bit and open these up. And we'll test that up. I think with a nice hammer, that'll go right where it needs to be. It's better to have them a little tight than not, otherwise they wobble down and they kind of lose them in there. If there's a little friction, you actually get them set, take your tank off, and the friction will hold it in while you weld them in place. Yep, perfect. And then we got some paint up here before we weld. We're just gonna clean that paint off so we can get a weld. We wanna do that before you put your bung in, otherwise you're grinding around the bung. And now we'll set these bungs down in there. Got one started here. Tap them home. Now, with these, what I like to do is set so your top point, use this file, so your top point, these are not radius to fit the frame, but the D-tabs on the tank have a radius in them. These are gonna be flat, your tunnel's radius. So what I like to do is set these down where they're basically flush here in the corner, maybe a little bit prone so you can get a weld in there. And then you're gonna weld around, and then I come in after the fact with a flap disc or a file and round the outside edges of the bungs off so that they match the radius of the tubing and the bottom radius of your D-tabs. So that one, probably good. Maybe give it a little bit more of a tap. Just a touch, there you go. It's nice to have a little something to weld up. We're gonna TIG weld these in. So I just put the screws in there, thread them in. You wanna go down, make sure you get enough threads in there so that you're not boogering up the top ones as you're tapping on your bolt. So this bung fits in here nice and tight. This one we're gonna use a small magnet to hold it into the position that we want for welding. And at this point, all it's left to do is weld these in and shape them off. So by weld these in, what I mean is I'm going to call Jared, my professional welder on payroll here, because I am not dumb enough to put my welds out onto the internet for y'all to troll. So Jared's gonna come over, he's gonna take these up, and then we'll shape it off, throw our tank on, and we are done lickety split. Jared! So Jared does all of our welding on our hardtail sections and oil tanks that we build here in-house. Good to go? All right, my man. Thank you. Yeah. Now you can see why I don't do any of the welding. Just let the pro handle it. So now you can see Jared got these welded in nice for us. What we're gonna do is just shape the edges here on the high side, because again, we put a flat bung in there and we wanna just contour that a little bit so it matches closer to the radius of the tube, but more closely the radius of the D-tabs on the tank. So we'll just touch up the edges there and get those shaped off a little bit, being careful not to mess up our threads in the center of the bung. All right, so now we got our bungs in, put a little radius on them. All that's left to do is mount up the tank. So we're gonna use our leather washers here. Take 2 of those. These are gonna go between the tank and the frame. And you can crank her down pretty good once you have these leather washers that deaden it. The other thing with this is that, you know, it's riding free. It's not sitting on the tunnel in the middle, which is what you want. You just want it mounted on these 2 points. So there it is, straight as an arrow. It doesn't take a whole lot of tools to get this done. Something you guys hopefully can easily tackle, and this is going to do it the right way, the proper way. Obviously there's other options and different ways that you can do it, but this is how we like to do it and how we recommend our customers do it. So if you get a gas tank from us at Throttle Addiction, use this method and you'll be good to go. Your tank won't have any issues and you'll be ready to munch up some miles on your hardtail chopper. Thanks for playing along. I know what I'm doing.